If a beribboned horse skull doesn't show up at my door during the 12 days of Christmas to challenge me in a battle of song, why even bother celebrating the holiday? Mari Lwyd is the Welsh Queen of Christmas, in my opinion, and I am ready for her to come on over and steal all of my beer.
Fucked up fairy tales with Liz.
Ding! The folk tradition of Mari Lwyd is attributed to South Wales, and like many folk traditions, has a bit of regional variety. Her origins have been debated right down to the meaning of her name. Some consider it a reference to the Virgin Mary and a story where there was some kind of horse there at the birth of Christ. Other tales claim it is a reference to the grey mares of Celtic mythology that can cross into the underworld. I think y'all can guess which of those is my favorite. Whatever her origin, her general look and behavior is the same. She's a big hobby horse with a horse's skull for a head, and she's decorated with ribbons and holly and ivy, and she's goth as fuck. No matter what she's wearing, she looks incredible. Slay. 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 A triple slay. A dead horse open slay. And if you're worried that all of these horses in Wales are being murdered for the tradition of Mari Lwyd, you do not have to worry, because you would use the same skull each year, and for the rest of the year the skull would be buried in the ground until it was time to resurrect her. Goth as fuck. During the 12 days of Christmas, the Mari Lwyd will show up at your door, or perhaps at the door of a pub, puppeted by a group of people in festive costume. In some traditions, she would simply sing a song that would grant her entry, but in other traditions, she would challenge you to a battle of wits. To hold the Mari Lwyd off, you would have to exchange these little naughty barbs. And this battle ends when you can no longer spit bars and you have to let her in. Once inside, the Mari Lwyd gets to run around your house, scare your children, steal your booze, and have a grand old time. Houses she visits are considered to have been granted luck for the year, so really, you want the Mari Lwyd to come knocking. Now, here's a part of the tradition that I could use some more context, and I'm going to tag my friend Tales from Britain and Wales podcast to perhaps weigh in. I'm sure he's already got a video on this. If you do a Google image search for the Mari Lwyd celebrations that are still taking place in Wales, you'll see some people who are dressed up are wearing black paint on their faces, and obviously this has some cultural questions with it. And with my brief research, I truly couldn't figure out why. I wasn't sure if it seems like in some ways maybe the black paint makes your face in shadow so you can't be seen behind the skull of the Mari Lwyd, but then other people who aren't puppeting the Mari Lwyd are dressed that way, so I don't know if this is a cultural Christmas character that has some awkward history like in other parts of Europe, or I don't know what this is. Tell me what this is, please, sound off. The first written record of the Mari Lwyd tradition dates back to 1800. By the mid-20th century, there was a little bit of a falling out of the tradition, but it has more recently been revived, and there are Mari Lwyd celebrations happening today, probably right now if you're seeing this during the 12 days of Christmas. Which, if for some reason you don't know, is not 12 days leading up to Christmas, it's 12 days starting on Christmas through January 6th, I believe. Some people find the Mari Lwyd scary, and I guess I can see why you might think that, but I love her. Thanks to my friend K.A. for helping me with the pronunciation of Mari Lwyd. If you're from Wales and you think I'm doing it wrong, don't yell at me, because I went to a Welsh person. I went to the source for this pronunciation. So do not yell at me, Wales. Unless you are the Mari Lwyd, then you can yell at me all you want. In fact, I would like you to yell at me, Mari Lwyd. Thanks for tuning in today. This is Fucked Up Mary Tales coming to you from my mom's house. Check out that beautiful wallpaper. I'm obsessed with it. I'll see you in the new year with some fucked up fairy tales.